When I buy a video game physically, meaning it comes with the case and it comes with the game, here's a couple of the first things that I do. I open it up, I make sure that the game's in there, I make sure that the cartridge or the Blu-ray disc or whatever it is isn't scratched or messed up or anything like that. But then one of the other first things that I like to do is I like to see if the cover is reversible. So in the case, there's the cover, and that's, your front and the back of the case, the artwork that you see. And certain games that I have, you can actually take that cover out, the artwork out, reverse it, and then put it back in, and it's just completely different artwork, generally, if they've actually done it. And to me, that's an indicator that the company invested just a little bit more love, just a little bit more time, just a little bit more effort into their development and wanted to go that extra mile. And the reality is that people might not even realize that that reversible cover is even there. It may be that so many people purchase a game and not even realize that there's something that they're missing out on, and yet the company still decided to go that extra mile and to pour that much extra love into their work. And it got me thinking, we as Christians, how often do we go the extra mile? How often do we put that much more effort into what we're doing? Are we doing it as in our service for God? Are we doing it in our service for one another, for humanity in general? Are we doing it when we're working on a school project or when we're working on a work project? Are we willing to go that extra mile? And so what I want to talk about today is how can we get to a point where we're willing to go that extra mile, to put in that much more effort, to give it all that we have. So I want to look at a couple passages. And the first one's in 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 31. And Paul says this, he says, "Whatever you eat or drink, or whatever you do everything for the glory of God." Now, I recognize that, the context here is talking about food and drink and that kind of thing. But there's a principle here, isn't there? Paul says, whatever you do everything for the glory of God. So I think the first thing we need to realize is that what we're doing is ultimately serving the purpose of bringing glory to God. Everything we do. And so I want us to think about it in this way. When we're working on that school project, when we're doing something at work, whether we're driving down the road, everything that we do is to bring glory to God. So are we viewing all aspects of our life in that way? A second passage I want to look at is in Genesis chapter 29 and verse 20. And the passage says, "Jacob worked for 7 years to acquire Rachel, but they seemed like only a few days to him because his love for her was so great." So second, besides recognizing that everything we're doing is to glorify God, I think we also need to remember our love for one another. And while this sounds like a weird passage to use in regards to that, right? Because this is about a love between a man and a woman. But I think the principle is so powerful, and I think it applies to us today. When I truly love my brothers and sisters, when I truly love my community, I should not think about my work or my service to them as a chore, but rather it's an opportunity to do good and to show my love for them. This is about a godly love for people. And when we have that godly love for people, then I think we're going to hopefully get to the point where we feel the same way that Jacob felt. It might be a lot of work, but it doesn't feel like it because we love one another. And so, like a video game company that goes that extra mile by designing and giving something that many people might not even know exists, let us go the extra mile. Let's put all that we have into doing good and serving God and one another. And so how does that look? Well, let's reach out to one another through phone calls and text. Let's love our neighbors. Let's slow down so that the person who's trying to merge into our lane can actually get over. Yes, even that. Even our driving. Even just slowing down so someone can merge. We're doing it to bring glory to God. Maybe we even tip extra for our food delivery charge, right? Our food delivery. We give a little bit extra to the person. Do all to the glory of God. Go the extra mile. And so I want to hear from you. I've thrown out some ideas. In the comment section below, feel free to throw out some of your ideas. How can we go the extra mile in what we do for Christ and what we can do for one another? I love you guys. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and may God bless you.